Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Next Gen NYC. So, and I do apologize for the late video. I have not been feeling well, as you can see, my eyes are looking a little, but I'm trying to knock these videos out. So we're gonna try to get these videos out today. So we start off the episode with Ariana, and she's walking the streets in New York, and she gets a message from Georgia because Georgia's inviting them to like this art show that she's having. So we see the little text messages. Um, Charlie's asking Georgia not to invite Ariana and Hudson because he's not feeling them, but it's just like, boo, whatever. This is my event. I'm inviting who I want to invite. So we then see Brooks talking to Ava because Ava didn't come to the Brooklyn night that Riley had. So she's basically Brooks is telling her like what happened and how Charlie was being a dick to Ariana, and then sorry, him also talking about Chloe to Brooks again, and it's just like, here he goes again. So he goes, not Ava goes to go see Charlie, and she's basically telling him like, you need to stop. Brooks doesn't like it. Brooks doesn't like confrontation, and he's really not gonna say nothing to you. So you need to just stop, like, quit it. So then we see, I think we see Seth and Brooks, and they're talking, and Brooks is telling him about the whole we find out Brooks has a boyfriend, and then we see them talking about the whole Chloe and Charlie of it all. And Seth is like, oh, maybe I need to talk to him since he doesn't, he didn't have like a good relationship with his father, so maybe he just needs guidance or some crap like that or whatever. So we see, who else do we see? We see Gia and Teresa, and Gia's basically telling Teresa how she's gonna throw a like a little pool party. They're gonna have like a psychic come to do some card readings. They're making pizza, and they're all like, all she's inviting the whole crew or whatever. So that's what the event is for tonight, is the whole crew going to, sorry, the whole crew going to Jersey or whatever. And she's talking about how she likes living in Jersey, and she would never want to move to New York because it's New York, like she says, or whatever. So then we see what else happens. This, like, a lot happened this episode, but leading up to it, not a lot happened. But we see Charlie meeting up with his mom and her boyfriend. And this scene, I guess this was a scene to make us feel for Charlie, but it didn't make me feel for Charlie. It just made me realize that you've always been this person. You've always been a dick, like, your whole life. And your parents got a divorce, you were living with your mom, and then your mom couldn't do it no more, so you moved in with your dad, and you don't have a good relationship with your dad. You don't really have a good relationship with your mom either, because you resent her for leaving you, I guess. I don't know. But I guess y'all are starting to get better or whatever, but it's like, I just don't like Charlie. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He's not making, like, I don't understand why any of these people are his friend, because y'all all have money on your own. Like, y'all don't need him. Like, I just don't understand why they're his friend, but whatever. Especially Ava, and we gonna get to her. So, we find out that his mom used to date Basquiat, and it was just like, that's the only interesting thing that I got from that whole conversation. It's just like, that's what's up. But other than that, like, I could care less about Charlie, and what he got going on, because it's just like, like, your actions, everything that you have gone through doesn't it doesn't excuse the type of person that you are today. get in therapy, unpack that ish, and change your life. That's what I'm gathering from this. We then see Brooks and Shy come. Shy goes to Brooks' house because he's showing him. He's setting up his sewing machine because Brooks wants to start sewing to add to his, his athleisure line that he has, because he talks about it at the time when he first introduced his athlete athleisure line. It consisted of one tracksuit. So they show the clip of the Salt Lake when he did his debut, and then Jen Shaw was like, "It's only one." And Jen Shaw is. I'm glad she's not on our screen no more, because yeah, that girl. But anyway, so we see them at the house. Riley comes over, and then they're talking about, I think they're talking about Charlie. Oh, they talk about when they went to Georgia's event or whatever, and how um Shy and, like, I think the people that went was Hudson, Ariana, Georgia was there, of course. Charlie came, Brooks, Riley, and Shy were there. Brooks and Shy left. They didn't stay long, or they didn't stay for the after party or something like that. They went to the after party, but they didn't stay long. Ariana, Hudson, they didn't stay long either, but Ariana, Hudson, and Charlie came to a they had a little come to Jesus moment, and they're okay with each other now. And then Riley was there with she was left with Georgia or whatever, and they're better now or whatever, so they're like okay with each other. And then we see like Georgia lost her phone, so she still hasn't replaced that phone. And it's just like, girl, this is since episode 1. You still have not replaced your phone at this point. What is going on, girl? Replace that phone. Like, you're this person who's like, you need your phone. You're like planning events and stuff. Like, you need to have your phone. Like, what is wrong with you? So anyway, so she hasn't replaced her phone. So what's it called? She's looking for Charlie and Dylan, I think that's his name. Yeah, she's looking for Charlie and Dylan, and they had dipped because they found some girls, and then they dipped, didn't even tell her. And then Riley is calling them because our Georgia still doesn't have her phone, so Riley is calling Charlie for Georgia, and I don't think he answered, and so like Georgia was pissed or whatever. So they were talking about that, and then we see what's this boy's name? Seth gets a call from not Seth. Charlie gets a call from Seth to meet him for they're gonna go out to eat or whatever. So they meet up to eat, and Seth's giving him advice and telling him like, like just talking to him, like he's talking about how he wants to be a mentor and all this other stuff. And it was just like, I guess this is good because it's like Charlie needs somebody to be in his corner since his dad is in his corner, but Seth, after the things that your son said he said about your daughter, I don't understand why you would even entertain this boy. Like, I would be telling my daughter to run. But then again, Seth said that's something that he would have done back in his day. So I guess he thinks that's child. I don't know what he thinks, but whatever he thinks is not good. It's like, okay, you're weird. Yeah, so he's weird. Seth and Charlie, they have their little discussion, and Charlie is just like, I like the conversation I had with Seth. Like, I wish my dad would like talk to me like this. Maybe I would feel like it would be better, or some crap like that. And it's just like, whatever. So then we see them, everyone's getting together to get on the bus to go to Gia's for the party. And on the bus is Georgia and her roommate. I didn't catch his name. I do apologize. Dylan and Shia, however you say his name. Riley, Brooks and Chloe, and then Ariana and Hudson. And Ariana and Hudson, when they get on the bus, they bring their dog and their laundry. because they still living in a hotel. So Gia told her, bring your laundry so you could wash your clothes or whatever while you're here. And I was just like, that's nice of her, but girl, y'all packing around like, okay, I guess. So they're all on the bus and they're like laughing and talking. And Charlie starts to talk about um something that happened when they were at the club, or at yeah, when they were at the after party for the event. And he was talking about how Riley was mean to the girls that they had met. And Georgia and Riley were just like, because he was just like, yeah, she came up to her and she was just like, you did this and you accosted her and all this stuff. And then Georgia was like, that's not how that went. And Riley was just like, that's not what happened. I just went up to her and asked her for her name. Like, what are you talking about? And he was just like throwing out these microaggressions. And so Riley was just like she got upset and she started to cry. And so she basically told him like, you've never seen me do any of this. I've never been one to do any of that. Like when I went up to the girl, I just asked her for her name. I was being nice and showing her manners because she was being rude. Like, you don't come to something and not speak. And it's just like, that is the pet peeve of mine. Like, if you walk into some place, you need to say a general hello to everybody. Don't walk in somewhere and don't speak. That's just such a pet peeve of mine. Like, no ma'am, if you walking into a place, you need to speak. You should not expect people to come up to you and speak to you when you walk in. Like, that's no. That is a pet peeve of mine. If I walk in somewhere, I'm saying a general hi everybody, hello, and then I'll go to the individual people that I do know, because I may not know everybody that's there, and I'll speak like that. But I give a general hello to everybody, because I'm not going to walk into somebody's house or into an event or any place and not speak and expect people to come speak to me. That's just not how that works. So Riley was just basically saying, I went up to her and I said, hello, what's your name? And they show the flashback of Riley going up to the girl and introducing herself and then asking the girl what her name is. And it was just like, Charlie, you just put 20 on 10 right then, and that was not cool. So he was just like, she was a little girl, and Riley was just like, she's older than me. What are you talking about? Like, I was just showing her manners, like, because she was rude. Like, no. And so Riley was upset, and she was just like, y'all always do that. Like, because I'm this big, like, I'm a black girl and I'm big, y'all always make it seem like I'm aggressive or I'm scary. And then she pointed out the thing that what happened when they went to the what's it called, the Brooklyn night, that when Riley had her event and Georgia was just like, you were scary. And she pointed that out and they showed the flashback, and she was just like, you made it seem like I was scary. And it was just like, that's not it. And Georgia was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. Da, 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 da. And then she was telling Charlie, like, I don't do this. You're just like, when have you ever seen me do this like that? And what's his name, Charlie was just like, I don't see, like, she was just like, he was like, don't make me out to be a racist. I don't see what color has to do with this. And it was just like, and that's the problem. That is the problem. Like, you are giving microaggressions and she's explaining this to you and you're not listening to her. You just want to keep talking in this annoying voice that you have, and just so annoying. So Ava tries to explain it to him, and it's like he doesn't want to understand at this point. He doesn't care to understand, and he's going to make himself be the victim. And so it's just like, so he says, I'm sorry, whatever. They get to Gia's, and Riley like mentions what happens or whatever. Um and she was just like, you're so lucky that you weren't on the bus. And she basically tells her what happened. Well, I think she tells her what happened, but Riley starts Candy, she calls Candy, or Candy calls her, like, she calls Candy, and she basically tells Candy what happened. And Candy was just like, not today, and he gonna learn. And like, she gave her words of encouragement. Like, she was like, letting her know like you did what you needed to do. You spoke right. You talked to him in a way that he needed to understand. If he doesn't understand, that's on him and not on you. And I'm glad that you're able to navigate this world um and be open to all races. And it was just like that was a good little pep talk. So Charlie comes and he talks to Riley again and he apologizes and he's just like, I'm sorry, X, Y, and Z, whatever. And she was just like, all right, we cool. So they all like, they're like mingling. Some are in the pool, some are making pizza. They're all doing different stuff. And we see Charlie, Georgia, and Georgia's roommate. We see them talking or whatever. And Charlie says, no, Georgia asked him, did you apologize? And he was just like, yeah, but I didn't mean it. And it was just like, why even like if you didn't mean to apologize or you didn't want to apologize, why would you go that step further to pull her to the side to apologize? If you didn't mean it, you should have just left that apology on the bus and be done with it. But you decided to then go and pull her to the side when y'all got there to apologize again, just for you to say, I didn't mean it, I did it to appease her. I don't need you to do anything for me. You could have left that apology where it was. You didn't even need to give me that. Like, I wasn't even asking for it. I didn't call for you. Nothing. You should have left me where I was at if you weren't going to mean the apology that you gave. And this is why I don't like that boy. Like, I can't even call him a man because you act like a little child. You're 29 and you're acting like this and you don't understand stuff. You don't care to understand. And it's just like, I don't know why any of those people are his friend. I don't know why Ava is his friend. And it's just like, girl, I give her props because she's the one who had Riley's back when they were on the bus. And when she found out that Charlie didn't mean his apology, she went straight to Riley and was just like, he lied. He didn't mean that apology. He said he was doing it to appease you, and I'm pissed. And I was just like, all right, that's what's up. Go ahead, girl. So again, she tells Riley. Riley goes and tells Charlie comes to her and like he was just like, are we good? And she was just like, did you mean that apology? And he was just like, I don't even remember exactly. Let me see what happened, because I was so annoyed because I was just like, you went out of your way to apologize to her just to say I didn't mean it. And it's just like, again, why did you even go out of your way to apologize to her again just to say you don't mean it? Like, it didn't make no sense. Like, just stop talking. Like, again, I don't know why any of these people are his friend. It's just I'm looking at a lot of them sideways because it's just like, y'all see what type of person he is and y'all are like, child, I don't know. But child, it's just like, it's just so annoying because it's like, again, why are you even apologizing if you don't mean it? Like, whatever. Okay, so so he comes to Riley because Ava's telling her about what she heard from Georgia and her roommate. And so she asked him, she was just like, did you apologize? Did you just do it to appease me? And he was just like, well, yeah, isn't that what you wanted? And it was just like, no, I didn't want you just to apologize to me to appease me. I wanted you to apologize and mean it. If you wasn't gonna mean your apology, don't give it to me. I don't need you to appease me about nothing. Your apology ain't gonna affect me. It's not. Whatever. So she was just like, okay, bet. Like, okay. okay. She was just like, all right, cool. I get it. That's if that's where we at, that's where we at. And he was just like, we good. And she was just like, we good. And she gets up and walks away. And so him and Ava are like going back and forth because Ava's now upset with him. And um she's upset with him because she was just like, why would you do that? Like she's telling you about microaggressions that she has to deal with, and you're like, oh, whatever. And so before Charlie had came over, when Ava had told Riley, she was just like, do you want me to talk to him for you? And Riley was just like, you don't have to talk to him for me because he doesn't see me how he sees you. Like, I'm not from New York. I don't have that, like, he doesn't, like, he don't respect me like that. Like, I'm this big black girl, and that it is what it is. She'll just like, you should talk to him about how it affects you because you are a black woman. Like, you go through these microaggressions, and you should talk to him about that because you deal with them too. Just because, Ava, you like to date white men, don't mean that they don't see you as a black woman. This world sees you as a black woman. You are going to get those microaggressions too. And you falling in line step with Charlie is not going to change the fact that you are a black woman. He, at the end of the day, he's going to look at you as a black woman when the time comes to it. When he starts to throw those microaggressions at you, then you're going to understand what Riley is talking about in this moment. Because again, you are a black woman. I want to say, I feel like she's full black. I don't know if she's mixed because I don't know if her mom is. I don't know if Rachel Roy is black or if she's mixed. I don't know, but it's just like Ava and Riley have the same complexion. Like, y'all have the same complexion. Riley's hair is just more like, it's more like this as opposed to Ava's hair. So I guess Ava's mixed, but it don't matter. You still a black woman at the end of the day, and you need to understand that and make your guy understand that. But I digress. So Riley had walked away from them. Ava and Charlie are talking because, again, Ava's upset with him because she's just like, I keep trying to defend you and you keep making it harder and harder. And so Riley goes to talk to Gia and Charlie, and she's telling them how, I mean, not Charlie, but Gia and Brooks, and she's telling them how he didn't mean the apology, and she's pissed. And so Charlie comes over, and he was just like, are we good? And she was just like, no, we not good, because, like, what? And so he was just like, I'm not having this conversation. I'm not having this conversation with you. I'm just like so done. And so she like grabs his hand like, Charlie, Charlie. And he was just like, please let go of me. Like, so she was just like, fine. So she lets him go, and then he goes to leave, and he was acting like the male Karen, whatever they called them, Ken. He was acting like a Ken in that moment because he wanted to become the victim. And it was just like, y'all can get him off my TV screen. I do not need to see him no more. Irritation beyond irritation every time I see him. I don't care for his scenes. Your daddy don't love you. Clearly we see that. Your mama didn't care for you. Clearly we see that. Go get some help. Talk about it and get off my screen. Like, I don't need to see him no more. Just irritation. Ugh. So we see in what's gonna happen in the next episode is um Charlie telling Ava how he's coming to like Ariana, and how he would sleep with her and all this other stuff. And then something else happened, and then we see Ariana, I mean, not Ariana, we see them at the club, and then Ava's talking about Ariana, how, oh, she says she wants to be a fashion designer. And I'm like, fashion wear? And I was just like, girl. And I'm like, I'm probably not gonna start liking you next episode, because it's like, it seems like you're going after Ariana because Charlie said he wants to sleep with her, and it's just like, so you like Charlie is what you're telling me. But we shall see what happens next episode, because I feel like Ava's gonna be on my list. So for this episode's, it was Charlie was the main one on my list that I didn't care for. Georgia, I was just like, okay, she's doing better, she getting better. I still need her to get a phone. Like, girl, you should have enough money to go and buy you a new phone. Even if you don't need to get you can go and get 15 or the 16, whichever one was out at the time that they was filming this show. You could have got the year before. Like, girl, it's no ma'am. Get you a phone. But that was the episode. I hope you enjoyed it because I did enjoy the episode. But if you like what you see, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share. And I will see you guys in the next one.